Today is March 21st, 2015, and I'm Matt Castle.
And I'm Jessica Castle.
And together we are Final Family. This is the first episode, the premiere episode, our debut upon the internet. Not really.
The premiere of my face
Your
on
face,
the internet.
normally your face, but your voice only is on the internet with me. We're hoping this will be a weekly news nerd family thing, maybe. As you know, so long as Jessica will tolerate it and you guys watch it. So like and comment and subscribe if you do, or if you don't, that would be good too, right? You would accept that if.
Yeah, as long as you like and subscribe. Yeah. You don't even have to comment if you don't like it. Just like and subscribe.
Comment. Yeah. Just don't comment. Commenting is not okay. Not really. All right, so we're going to talk about some news first. I think the thing Jessica is the most eager to talk about is sexism in comic books.
Dun, dun, dun.
We're going to talk about Batgirl 41, that variant that we've all seen. All right, dear. I'm just going to let you go on your...
Okay.
Step upon soapbox.
Step upon my soapbox. I think the thing that bothered me the most about the... Well, let me back up. The thing that bothered me most about the variant was the reason why it got pulled. Not that it got pulled, but that it needed to get pulled. Because this variant was released, the preview of it was released, and some people, I personally believe rightly, said, hey, this is probably not the best cover to do, even for a Joker theme,
sure.
You know. I'll go into that later. Those people made that known. Then a bunch of douchebags basically started like waving their flags and like, how dare you not agree with me, you should die, and started threatening people over their opinions.
Well, I mean, here we go, right? Like, right off the bat, the internet, you know, responding with death threats to everything, because apparently that is the way we respond to things. Completely appropriately, of course. Yeah.
So because of that, because like these idiots who don't understand what censorship actually is, and that this wasn't a First Amendment issue, the artist was like, hey, I just drew a picture I thought was cool, please,
the
stop.
artist also apparently asked that it be
the artist was the one, because these people reacted like insane people, like just said, look, I don't want my art to have caused this, please pull it, which is every bit his right. He created it, and he does not owe us anything.
Let's just put it out there. While I don't necessarily agree with the look on Batwoman's or Batgirl's face, rather, it's really beautifully drawn. It is. And it gets his point across with, like, the Killing Joke reference. It's like
I think that's
some small tweaks, and it would have been like a really great cover. And we're actually going to show some other fan variants as well.
And I think that's one of the reasons why everyone has such a visceral reaction to this piece of art. Because I'm going to call it art. Screw the people who say comics aren't art; they're artists. It is a very intense picture. And I think that's one reason why it's getting such a visceral reaction. It's either getting a visceral negative reaction from the people who are reading the sexual assault vibe off of it, which I very easily saw.
See, that's the thing. Even with the sexual assault vibe, I think that's the thing that doesn't bother me the most, right? It's the Joker. Things like that about the Joker are what make him uncomfortable.
Yes.
To me, the part of the cover that's not okay is actually Batgirl's reaction to it, right?
Well, that's part of that sexual assault vibe. Like, she's petrified, she can't fight back. That's the way a lot of victims feel in the moment of that assault.
Or even afterwards, right?
Yeah, or afterwards. There's a reason it goes unreported, people.
Right.
But
I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the
so we
the
could
original
not
and the
we could not find our Google Foo failed us. So if you know the origin of this, please comment it, because I would love to give the credit where it's due.
Right.
But someone has created a slight tweak of the variant that I think does a lot better job to kind of soothe some of the issues of the original. Because let me back up. One of the reasons that I find like that this was probably not the most tasteful version is because of the kind of revamping that they've done on Batgirl. Like DC is actually trying to go after younger viewership, and they're trying to make it
on the cover of putting it's a contextual
teen
thing,
targeted.
Right? It's a female teen targeted thing. But one of the things that I actually really love about Batgirl, because I read it for a good long time, before we became too broke to do comic books.
Yeah.
And it hit the editing floor for us. I'm sorry, Superman is Superman for me. I just loved how strong she was, and she was like a very, no bullcrap kind of person, and she just like, she seemed very over it. And in Death of the Family, her stance towards the Joker is so much more defiant than
she's worked through her fears and worked through her PTSD, because in the New 52 reboot, that was definitely part of the beginning of it, was her coming to terms with
that's like all of like the first 10 or more issues is her figuring out who she is, how she wants to be, picking back up the mantle of Batgirl, and going out and kicking some ass,
And this variant in its original form, one, not really appropriate for female teen audiences, I feel, for the vibe of the current book. And it kind of takes away all of that agency that she's built for herself and her strength of character.
It does. It removes a lot of her power.
It's like, hey, she may be badass now, but remember when Joker, shot her, and
Joker can still
maybe,
just, nail her ass to the floor, basically.
Raped her, But so anyway, so let's look at the tweak.
Oh no, it's been up.
Oh, it's already been up?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, I think really what it boils down to is that look of defiance, right?
Yes.
Like that is part of her character. She's it's already built in, right? Like she's not and I don't want to say weak, because that's not the correct, you know what I'm saying?
I think the other variant we found that we actually were Ray, what is it? Ray Dillon, I think that's his name. I'm sorry if I screwed it up. Ray Dillon, yes. The other variant that we saw, it's not so much a question of weakness and of the Joker being able to defeat her, but drawing, and this is where you get into gender politics, but the fact of drawing her crying and with that look of fear is in and of itself something that they would never do to a male comic book character.
Right, and that's another. I'll pull that variant up here real quick.
Ray Dillon, an artist, created a picture and tweeted it out there, and it was my response to the Batgirl Joker cover controversy, and it was Superman Doomsday.
Right.
So if you look at it, just looking at it, there is this kind of instinctual why?
Like this just seems.
It seems
weird and not.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just beyond. If you look beyond the Doomsday is putting red paint on the Man of Steel for no reason at all, because Doomsday is mocking him or whatever. But like, there's no weird sexual vibe with Doomsday, and that could largely be because
there's not that past history. If Doomsday had raped Superman,
it's not even that. Yeah. He's kind of expressionless, right? Like the Doomsday character overall is a very expressionless character. He just kind of is rage, right? Like, so he doesn't have that leery, smiley thing going on that kind of even makes me uncomfortable to look at. But yeah, like, it's not you would
never see this as
this is not something that would this is not the cover of the latest Doomsday
this is not going to be
right. This is not a variant that someone's coming up with,
and that's part of the problem, is this simple idea that anytime that you do something to show a weakness in a female character, that you would never do for a male character, you really kind of need to question your motivations as to whether this is the most realistic. It's one of those things, and as an author, I will fess up, I've done it myself. Anytime they want to threaten a woman, it was part of my issue with the Lara Croft stuff from the new thing. Anytime a woman, a powerful woman, or any woman really, is put in danger,
she's
not only is it a question of physical violence, but it's a question of sexual violence.
Right.
And that, even though, like,
because this is the only one way we can demean a woman, apparently.
Yeah, because this is, and it also goes the other way. Like, a lot of times, a female character will have a sexual assault so she can grow stronger from it and be brave, and either way, because you would never choose to do that to a male character, even though, you know what? Joker would totally rape Batman.
Yep.
Totally would.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure that's a very specific fantasy of the Joker's, because there's just way too much homoerotic thing in their play.
I honestly believe, like, in the deep, dark, weird-ass Joker mind, that the Joker actually is, like, deeply in love with Batman.
I guarantee.
Some totally jacked up way.
I guarantee there is some Joker, Batman / artwork, fan fiction stuff out there. Show. Just putting it out there.
That's... I don't want to think about that. That's not okay.
But yeah, I mean, the fact that, when you do something to one gender that you would never, that it would never be an option to do to the other.
It's like that Hawkeye thing, right? Like, I mean, it's
the Hawkeye initiative.
It's a much less extreme thing, but at the same time, you can't have a woman's ass and breasts in the same.
Yeah, they will never.
They don't exist in the same XY plane. Like, they just don't.
And
that's
if
not
they
how
do,
that works, or I guess the Z.
If they do, she's already dead.
Yeah,
already dead.
Somebody snapped her spine or something, I guess.
So a lot of, as I know a lot of people will say, well, you're a woman, you have boobs and a vagina, so, you should expect this. Yeah, your opinion about this doesn't matter. But the thing is, there are so many women out there who love comic books, who love these characters, who have the money to spend. Like, the new Thor comic is proof of that. They've done comparisons, and I pulled up the numbers. They looked on kind of an even playing field, because anytime you start a reboot, numbers are going to go up, but they kind of like evened out the playing field, looked at the same kind of story arc in the last run of Thor and this current run of Thor, and this current run of Thor is running roughly about $20,000 more, or not 20,000 issues more, not including digital sales per issue. So this is proof that if it's written well, if the art's good, if the people like the characters, women are going to flock to it. Men are going to flock to it, because you know what? It doesn't.
Like, we have a 3-year-old daughter, and when I heard about Thor being a girl, I was like, we bought that issue, like, first thing, and Jessica read it to her, and, like, I think she enjoyed it. I mean, as much as a 3-year-old can enjoy a comic book that she doesn't understand in the slightest. But, I mean, she liked looking at the pictures, and she was really into the idea of, a very powerful female character. You can even look at, like, I think I'd like to pick up for her, the newest Spider-Man, or what? I can't even remember what the heck it's called. Is it
Spider-Gwen?
Spider-Gwen?
I don't know what her
whatever.
I don't know what her
Gwen
actual name is.
Stacy has this awesome like white suit. And she's got Spider-Man-y powers with the hoodie thing. I think it looks really good.
We're not really a Marvel family if you haven't picked that up.
We don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just disclaimer.
It's not a disclaimer. If Marvel, I'm talking to you, Marvel. Okay. If you would come up with a decent schedule for releases that's not like haphazard, and then, pull good artists off of good books after 10 issues, after you've made me buy 10 issues, I'm talking to you, dude, that did the Incredible Hulk number 11. Screw you, man. That was a damn good book that went to shit. I don't know what happened. It went bad. Like, the covers would be really good, and then the inside was just garbage, and I couldn't take it anymore, and I had to stop reading what I thought was an incredible book. Also, I'd like to say, fuck you, Bruce Banner. We don't like you.
No.
We want just Hulk.
Yeah.
I liked Mad Scientist Bruce Banner better than I like normal Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner's just kind of, I don't know.
He's a whiny bitch. I don't want to be angry.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway. That was a weird rant.
Consistency, please. Yeah. Jeez.
But, I gotta say, right now, in the realm of, being a female comic book fan,
it's not,
Marvel's winning. Marvel's winning. Marvel has Captain Marvel, has Miss Marvel, has Thor, has Gwen Stacy. When's the last time that DC created or rebooted, brought back a female character?
Well, they haven't really let any female characters go to the wayside.
But
realistically, they only ever have had Wonder Woman. I think one character that gets overlooked a lot, and actually I don't know that I've seen her in any of the New 52 stuff, but we kind of dropped it. Yeah. Vixen. Was she in the?
She was in Justice League International.
Was she in International?
Yeah, she was in International. I don't know about now. But
I wish they'd have put her in, because she's a really cool character. Mm-hmm. And she, she shuts two things, right? Female and African American, and she's just a cool character. I think she has a voodoo thing going. I don't know what the amulet is, but she gets the animal powers from the amulet, and I don't know what the basis of that is.
I don't know. I really don't know her origin story.
Stuff.
She's always drawn very tribal.
She's always drawn very tribal. But they could really run with it. I think Vixen book would do quite well. Yeah. But
I think what it is,
as a competitor for a Black Panther, you know.
If you look in the long scheme of things, DC and Marvel, until very recently, pretty head-to-head with diversity issues. Neither was great, but I have to say, in the last 10 years,
I will say,
they
kind of are.
I think Marvel has gotten a hold of some awesome PR people.
Yeah.
And marketing people who are like, hey, there's this great untapped market. Please, let's, and I don't know the politics, but, I gotta say, as a female comic fan, Marvel,
And even beyond, sexism, but, even race diversity, mm-hmm. right? I wish, who was it? It's Simon Boz? B-A-Z? Boz? That sounds right. Anyway, the newest Green Lantern, who, gets the ring from accidental weird Hal Jordan Sinestro stuff.
Yeah.
And he's chased down because they think he's a terrorist and everything. Yeah. And he's just, wrong place, wrong time kind of guy. And he was such a good character. I really liked his introduction issues. Mm-hmm. He's got a really cool look to him. I think he has a very unique kind of look to him compared to the other the other Lanterns.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons I like Guy Gardner so much. Plus, he's a kind of a screw you kind of character, which I like very much. I like him much better as a Red than I do a Green anyway. But I digress. I mean, Simon Boz just got dropped, dude. He's been in Justice League of America, and I don't know if they've picked him up since then. And I kind of wish they'd just pick him back up and run with him. I love the artwork of He's actually got a really cool piece of tattoos up his arm that are in, I guess, Sanskrit. Or, I guess,
Arabic.
Sanskrit? Arabic. There you go, Arabic. And they glow green, too, when he changes, and it's really great. And then he's nowhere to be seen now.
Yeah.
Which is sad to me, but I guess it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't selling good or something.
Probably. That's what a lot of it comes down to.
Huge lantern saturation issues, as far as I was concerned.
They did.
Holy jeez,
there was a lot of lantern stuff.
Gosh. Like 4 lantern books, 5 lantern books. Like, you didn't even hear about it, I guess. Yeah. There's now a completely dedicated Sinestro book. There's a completely dedicated Larfleeze book. The orange guy.
Yeah.
Avarice.
Yeah.
There's a Jon Stewart book now. Guy Gardner's in the Red Lanterns. Kyle Rayner has his own book with the new Guardians, who are not even the Guardians of the Galaxy, like the Guardians that were trapped in the box with the person.
Yeah.
And then Hal, like, that's 6 Lantern books,
that's a lot of books.
That's a bunch of damn books. Like, and they just didn't. I feel like they didn't leave any space. I mean, I personally, that's me. We dropped Jon Stewart. I don't like him. He's got a martyr complex anyway. Screw Jon Stewart. He could be such a cool character.
He could.
If it wasn't for that damn martyr complex. Plus, he's got the coolest girlfriend ever. Fatality is awesome. It's like the only redeeming thing about that book. Again, strong female character. Fatality. There you go. She's a great character.
Brought it around.
Yep. Boom. All right. Now for something completely different.
Yeah.
Something more in my realm. We're going to talk about Windows 10. This week, it's not actually the announcement of free Windows 10, which is great. I think I'm going to take advantage of it. I am personally a great hater and despiser of Windows 8. It took me, like, when I built my first machine, and I was really happy. I felt good about it. And then I installed Windows 8 on it, and I felt like punching myself in the dick, because I could not figure out how to shut down my computer. I have a computer science degree. I went to school for like 6 years to get a degree in computers, and I could not figure out how to turn my computer off in Windows 8.
If you have to Google, Google how to power down.
I had to Google how to power down.
Just saying your system's not that intuitive.
Just bad, super bad. Like, and I think I still go about shutting down in like a half-ass way, like with the right click on the Windows thing, which is not like I don't think that's the intended way. Like, it just makes me feel good because the little menu pops up over there, just like the old start menu did.
It's familiar.
It's the only thing I have left. But I like some of the new stuff they've got with Windows 10. It looks like they're going to kind of mesh together the Metro and normal Windows start menu, so that you have like a few, like 6 little widgets, in your. So it's just kind of a big start menu, right? And then the normal like Windows 7 one is like still there, right, with all your commonly used stuff, and so I really like that. But the news this week was that they are actually going to allow free updates even if you have a pirated copy of Windows 7 and 8. And frankly, I am ashamed to say that I actually legitimately purchased my Windows 8 because I can't believe I supported them with $100. Like, it's terrible.
Well, the word on the street is that they're really trying to get a foothold in the legitimate Asian market. Because like China has it has gazillion pirated copies, and so they're trying to lure people in. I mean, I'll be honest.
Well, I mean, like, they're gonna give it out for free, and then I think they're only doing it for like a year after release. They're just gonna pirate it after that year.
I mean, the thing is,
this is nice and all, but it's like,
unless pirated copies are really buggy, I don't think that this is really going to,
like, the only way they're going to beat piracy is to implement DRM, and you can't do that with an operating system. Like, it's just too much, right? The other big bit of news this week, about at least Windows news anyway, is the death of Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
God Thank God that Microsoft finally decided to let that shit sail. Like, just holy crap.
Internet Explorer, the best way to download Google Chrome ever.
Exactly. Like, also the federal government. That is a true indicator of Internet Explorer shittiness.
If the federal
government requires you to use it,
yeah,
you probably don't want to be using it if you're an IT person. Yeah, so that's it. I think I'll personally be upgrading to Windows 10. I think Jessica's machines are on 7 still.
Yep.
So we'll probably wait on that for at least a few months.
Yeah, I'm in no hurry to.
Well, the thing is like one of the big features with Windows 10 is actually they'll be releasing DirectX 12. I think it's 12. I'm pretty sure it's 12. Which will be able to do bigger graphics, basically better graphics. So, in theory, they've done more optimizations for hardware.
So
you should be able to
Minecraft is really taxing my graphics.
Some other games. But like, there's going to be some optimizations that will, in theory, give you more oomph for your hardware. So that's pretty cool too. I'm pretty stoked about that. But yeah, like with Jessica, like literally just playing Jessica Castle, literally playing only Minecraft. Yeah. Did I get the pacing right too?
Pretty close.
Small
pretty
Rob
close.
Lowe.
I finally, I got Matt to watch Parks and Rec. So
literally, dear Canada, fuck you. Probably my favorite line in that whole show. Like, holy crap. So awesome. Also, yes, I do indeed like dark-haired women and breakfast meats. Check out Jessica's Etsy store for more details.
show them.
I can't show them. I haven't prepped for that.
Oh, okay.
No, I took it to work finally.
You took it to work?
I took it to work finally to advertise your wares.
Thank you.
While also insulting everyone around me. Because people are idiots.
Okay. So another big tech thing. Another
cutters,
company,
right?
Another company trying to reach a new market that we think is going to fail.
I don't know about fail. I mean, okay. I've looked at some other options since then, and I think
it's PlayStation Vue,
right? Yeah, it's being released this week. I think in 3 markets. I think they're doing New York and Philly and somewhere else. I can look it up. And the pricing is just wow bad. Holy crap. Like the lowest pricing I think they have is like $50 a month. Like I don't think that they understand fully that we don't care that we don't care how much. We don't care about the cord itself. It's not the cord we're worried about. It's the fact that we have to have all these bullshit channels that we don't want to watch your sports ball. We don't ESPN. We don't want you ESPN.
New York, Philly, and Chicago.
There you go. New York, Philly, and Chicago. So very
entry level price is $49.99.
And the top branch is what, like $70 almost, right?
Yeah.
Like it's high. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's as expensive as a lot of cable is, and frankly, their lineup is not super good.
Yeah, like, it's not.
Their lineup of shows is not super good. Like when you have something like look at Sling TV, right? Mm-hmm. I think that might be a spinoff company of like the Slingbox folks.
Yeah.
But like they have companies like AMC and the Disney Channel and Disney XD that you can get for relatively basic prices. It's one plan. Yeah. It's $20 a month for like shit, dude. I mean, like. If the AMC is not on this plan, is not on PlayStation Vue, which means that it serves no purpose. I mean, who's going to pay $50 a month to watch HGTV?
Yeah.
Not me.
No.
I mean, like FX? No. Come on. Sci-Fi Channel? I'm going to watch Sharknado or some shit? Like, come on. No. There's nothing on here that's worth Fox News, I'm sure as shit not paying for Fox News. I mean, good Lord.
Apparently, the one selling point that they're really pushing, is that it allows for 3 streams simultaneously.
What, View?
Yes.
Well, who cares? I mean, even still, like, I would bet Sling probably has at least 2, and frankly,
I'm sure.
Yeah, 2 is enough, man. 2 is enough.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
plus, and really, it's mostly their availability of channels mixed with the price point, right?
Yeah.
They're for $60. I'm looking at the $60 plan. There are no premium channels.
Yeah.
There's no Cinemax, HBO, nothing, right? Like $60 over the internet. I want HBO or something.
Oh yeah.
There are a number of channels. Like I don't even know what the hell Cozy TV. What the fuck is that? I have no idea. Why does anybody want Telemundo? I think it's free broadcast.
No. Telemundo's not.
Maybe it's because we live in San Antonio.
Right? We have a lot of the Spanish PBS. We have a lot of Spanish
channels. Like I honestly thought Telemundo was one of them.
No.
Okay.
I think we have Mundo.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah, we have
probably
Mundo.
What it is.
Yeah.
But still, like, there's no channels here that, like, there's a bunch of news channels and just like miscellaneous watch channels.
And part of the problem that I think cable companies are going to start running into, that things like PlayStation Vue are going to run into, is, I'm going to lay it at Netflix because they're the biggest name in the game. Netflix has ruined normal TV for almost everyone I know of our age bracket.
Yeah.
Like we don't have cable. We just have the streaming services, and I still get
2 of them though. Like we only watch Hulu and.
Well, we have Amazon too, technically, but that's for the shipping.
The children,
yeah.
But Mr. Rogers forever.
Yeah. If I try and watch normal TV while I'm at someone's house, I really do start getting angry at how long the commercial breaks are. I'm like, why are there 7 commercials? This is ridiculous. 3 max. That's it. So like,
Hulu has ruined you.
It is. Netflix,
but at least there's variety on TV.
That's true. But then my child comes back asking for cereals that she's never heard of and toys that she's, so that's fun.
We've never had that problem with Hulu. Like Ginger,
because
our daughter watches.
They don't do commercials during the children's shows.
They don't do that. Okay.
That's Hulu's stance, which I find very refreshing.
I did not know that.
Some of the classic cartoons, I guess they don't really consider children's shows, so they have commercials during that.
Well, I could see that.
Like things that were on in the 80s.
Sure,
they'll have commercials on.
Well, I mean, that's their expectation of demographic there is us.
Yeah. But the classic Care Bears don't show commercials in that kind of stuff.
Age well, and it's still for like 3-year-olds.
Yeah. There was our daughter watched a really awkward exercise Care Bears the other day. Okay. That was really, I guess it was during that President's Fitness push that I guess Reagan did. I don't know.
Reagan.
But it was all about,
best president.
I don't know. It may have been Bush. I don't remember.
President that we had. That's our first president, right? It was my first president, I think.
Yeah, he was my first president. I didn't care because I didn't know what a president was.
No.
The
first time
Bush is the first. Bush Senior is the first.
Senior, yeah.
I remember my first election. I remember is the one with Ross Perot. So that's the first one.
The only man on the planet with ears bigger than mine.
But the thing that I think these Apple basically anything that shows live TV.
Yeah.
is going to have a hard time getting a foothold with this kind of pricing.
Yeah, the pricing is terrible.
If it was much cheaper pricing, I could see it, but it's not it's not enough of a half. It's not enough of a discount to swing anyone over to them from cable. There's nothing that they're offering.
look at the lineup for Sling TV. Like, it's $20 a month. Yeah, Sling TV, if you'd like to, advertise through us, that would be fine for me.
Oh yeah.
The only problem I see is that they're not compatible with PlayStation. However, a Roku is like $60, so who cares, right?
Yeah, that's not.
And then the Nexus player, I'm pretty much cool with. They've got enough channels that they actually have to categorize their damn channels. They have like 9 sports channels. They have family channels. They have Disney, ABC Family, Cartoon Network, Boomerang, Disney XD, Disney Junior, Baby TV. Duck TV. I might be slightly interested in that.
There's probably going to be people just killing ducks all day, though.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
What?
Death to ducks.
Ducks are nice.
And then they also still have channels like TNT, TBS, Food Network. They have the Adult Swim channel, which is that's a cable channel. Yeah. The cooking, DIY, Cartoon Network, AMC, right? Get your Walking Dead for $20 a month. I mean, that's not that bad. Yeah. I mean, you're still cheaper to buy. It's still cheaper to buy the season.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you get all this other stuff, $20 a month is pretty great.
Yeah.
Like, it's well worth it, And I'd be willing to bet that you can Chromecast this too, like off your phone or something with the app, because there is Android apps.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean the cable companies are not going to go away, because they're also who's providing us with internet. So they're here to stay.
The thing is I wonder if cable companies go away in the way that we think of them now, right? Like cable TV. They're gonna have to. Does cable TV go away, and maybe they're just now ISPs and that's it? Dedicated ISPs.
I think
that I could see. Yeah. And frankly,
I think that's why they. Okay. Yeah, I think that's why they've been fighting net neutrality so much, because they see that that's where the money's going to be had soon. But that's a topic for another day. Net neutrality is a
Okay, so now we're going to shift gears.
So since we're talking about TV,
since we're going to shift gears, we're going to talk about some TV shows that we love. To be honest with you, right now the only thing we're watching are CW shows.
Which feels very weird to say.
It does.
Because
I'm not a teenage girl.
When CW first came onto the thing, onto the scene,
let's try not to remember Smallville. Flush Smallville from the mind. Tier what? Like, there were a couple. No. There were like 2 good seasons of Smallville.
The wasted potential. That's what the tier is for. The wasted potential.
I don't understand the rights. Anyway, let's talk about something they've gotten totally right. We're going to talk about The Flash.
CW has been killing it.
What's his name? Berlanti? Is that the producer's name?
I think so.
Writer and producer for The Flash and Arrow? Oh my God, Flash is so good. Holy crap. I'm so glad glad that they didn't. Spoiler. Oh yeah. We are going to spoil everything that happened in the... Frankly, if you are watching this, and if you haven't watched The Flash or The Arrow, which has been out for at least 4 days each, then it's your own fault. We're also going to talk about iZombie a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think I'm mostly going to talk about that at a very high level, because it's only the first episode, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad... I am beyond glad that they did not find time travel to be too taboo and stupid and campy. I gotta give it to him.
I gotta give it to him, because that's the time travel stuff with the Flash is something that I could very easily have seen them saving for down the line.
Yeah.
Because it gets complicated and it gets, very... So I could have seen them teasing Reverse Flash this whole season and not even going into the time travel aspects of it. I honestly thought...
I was a little worried about this episode in particular, because I thought... I had heard, with the title, like, Out of Time, you'd kind of know what's going to happen, right? Like, especially with rumors flying already, that we already knew time travel was coming. I did not expect, Dr. Wells to be Eobard Thawne, right? Like, from, like, the distant future... back as Reverse Flash, like Professor Zoom, like straight out of the comic books. Like, I'm so happy I squealed a little bit. Like, just wow. Like, I really wasn't expecting it. I'm so happy, but I was also worried that they were going to pack too much into this episode, right? Like, they bring in Weather Wizard.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cisco, for giving him a name. Waiting since week 1. I love Cisco so much. And if they ever kill Cisco, I'm talking to you, Berlanti. If you ever kill Cisco, we're gonna have problems.
They're not.
Like, problems, like, for real.
They're not.
It's not okay. Cisco is like one of the main things. One of the things I love about The Flash so much is that it's so light. You know, it's dramatic stuff, but it's light.
That's what I was about to say. They've really taken the feel of the Flash comics and really just gone for it, because the Flash in comic form is funny and lighthearted, but batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Like a psychic talking gorilla that runs a country. That's insane. That is absolutely insane.
It's like the ultra mega camp of comic books. Yeah. And they're just going for it, man. They are. They're just they're both feet in. I love it.
I love and it's such a nice refresher from the like grim dark DC movies. Oh my God,
and so much grim dark. Well, we'll get to that in a minute with the Arrow.
Yeah, but I love that the creators of the show just know that the show is crazy. Like Firestorm is a crazy story.
Oh, but he looks so cool too. Like, how did they get the budget for that? Like, how did they get in the budget for I guess they're riding it on Arrow. Arrow was making enough money, but they can still be relatively low budget because they don't have any like big flashiness.
Yeah, that's
they got to blow some stuff up every now and again, and it's not even that frequent.
Yeah, most of their effects are
oh man,
pretty standard stuff.
They're stupid,
and so they save up that money, and blow it all.
The Weather Wizard effects were great too. They were the tsunami thing
and the hailstones.
The hailstones looked really cool. I mean, I'm just saying, like, when Sony can't produce an Iceman that is as cool as Weather Wizard.
Yeah, on the CW show.
Like, CW Weather Wizard. Okay, just like think about Weather Wizard in the first place. In the comic books, this is a dude that literally, thank you, Rob Lowe. I'm going to say it like that forever.
Yeah.
Runs around with a freaking wand in a long green coat and like shoots lightning from his wand and makes small tornadoes and stuff. Like.
Yeah.
They made Weather Wizard cooler than Iceman, which is terrible.
Sad.
Like, it shouldn't have taken us how many movies? Like 5 X-Men movies or something to get an Iceman that was actually made of ice? What is wrong with you people? Okay, also, why didn't he sooner skate on ice? I'm sorry. I had to say it. It had to be said.
Matt has some deep issues with the X-Men movies.
Deep-seated hate and betrayal. Like,
anytime, just forewarned is forearmed. Anytime we even get remotely
God help us if we
X-Men,
talk to some dude. Talk about some dude with claws in his hand.
Yeah. Matt has some issues with the X-Men movies, and we'll just leave it at that and move on. That
last Wolverine movie was good.
I will have to say, when Cisco was like, Thawne, like Eddie, I was like, who is he talking about? Eddie who? That's how little of an impact Eddie is.
Well, no, it's not even that, right? Like, I think Eddie's been a fairly impactful character.
But he's not, but
I think they've said his last name like all of 4 times, maybe.
I think that's what it was.
They said it in that episode because people hadn't been catching it. I hadn't.
No.
The only reason I knew he was Eddie Thawne is because I'm a crazy person who reads the damn wiki.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was, I have to say, that was the one kind of I was like, Eddie, who's Eddie? Eddie. Like, I looked it up and I was like, oh, that's Eddie, duh, because he's just like the cute boyfriend, so I just kind of plugged him away in the back of my head without his name.
Well, that's because you don't like what's her face too. You don't like Iris that much.
I don't like Iris. I do not care for the way that they have written Iris.
But yeah,
I don't know anything about Iris in the comics, so I can't speak to that. But
I don't know, she's kind of Loisy. Like, I mean, that's how I've always read her.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's not as kind of like kick-ass, I'm going to do my own thing as Lois.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's somewhere between Lois and Cat Grant. Does that do it for you?
Yeah. Good enough.
So, yeah. Like, The Flash. Holy crap. Loved it. I cannot wait for next week. It was a big to be continued. Like,
it felt, we both talked about this as soon as the episode was over, this felt like a much, much bigger moment than the mid-season hiatus episode. Like, it very much felt like this was meant to be the mid-season hiatus, and just scheduling, scheduling screwed it up. But this felt like the mid-season hiatus.
I'll be honest with you, like, as much as they've been teasing Grodd in the last few episodes, I kind of hope they wait for Grodd next season. I do. Like, I'd like to see a Grodd season.
Well, I think,
right? Like, I'd love to see a Grodd season. He's such a huge, you know, part of the Flash. Yeah. That I think he, like Reverse Flash, should take up the course of the entire.
Yeah, because he is a major, opponent.
I actually really like the New 52 rendition of Grodd, where, like, they're from an alternate dimension through the Speed Force, and they, like, kind of worship the Speed Force, and the person who can, like, use the Speed Force is the leader of the city thing. Yeah. I dig it. I dig that very much. Yeah. I know Speed Force has always been kind of slightly connected to Grodd, and I kind of hope they kind of, like, start talking about, like, the Speed Force. Like, the, you know,
I think they're throwing out the possibility
for, like, Kid Flash and you know Bart Allen Impulse, who is, I think, the third Flash or the second Flash, I can't remember, they're weird out of order. And then there are other, like, speedsters who have come along, you know, I think Johnny Quick is one, and I can't remember, he had a daughter, but I can't remember her name. Leave it in the comments if you can remember who Johnny Quick's daughter's name is, because I think they were, like, a team for a while. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a really good finisher this season. I'm not sure how many episodes we have left. Like, not many.
And I really have to say that I think the Flash has learned a lot of, the creators and writers of the Flash have learned a lot from that first season of Arrow, because everyone I know who's watched Arrow talks about, like, how the show really found itself in that second season. Yeah. And so, like, the Flash,
after he got done being grimdark, it shows that he could be happy. It was much better.
Yeah, the Flash this first season has been pretty much firing on all cylinders. I can't think, like, there were some episodes that I didn't enjoy as much, but I can't think of an episode that just felt flat to me.
I'm not gonna lie, Flash is highlighted every week for me. Like, I don't watch a lot of television. Yeah. I am very selective about the television I watch, because I'd much rather come and play a game. Jessica's more the TV person than I am. She's watched more things than me. I'm fine with that. I'll go watch, you know, the second season of Orange is the New Black when she plays through the first season of The Walking Dead. Or literally any Bioshock. Any one Bioshock, and we're good.
I don't know if I can make it through Bioshock.
You can make it through Infinite. It's not that long.
Okay.
But it's also not that great in the end, my opinion. Whatever. Anyway.
But you already spoiled the story for me, so I wouldn't be interested in that one anyway.
Probably forgotten anyway.
No, I know.
Anyway.
So really feel like the Flash. Now on to the Arrow.
Flash is awesome. Yeah. Arrow's doing really good too. I really enjoyed Arrow.
The Lazarus Pit. I've been telling Matt this whole season, if they don't do
it's like
Lazarus Pit, I'm gonna be mad.
Lazarus Pit though. It's not like 100%. It's close enough to me.
Like, they're never. They've said, you know, they're not going to do magic. They're not, you know, they're trying to keep this.
I think they're moving away from that. I think they did that in the first, and I think they're kind of backtracking on that with the Flash crossovers and stuff. Because they're clearly the same universe, right? And Supergirl is coming eventually. Yeah.
I am okay with it not being full blown on Lazarus Pit. Just like I'm okay with Black Canary's voice being a sonic thing, you know, and not being her yelling. Yeah. You know, I'm okay with these tweaks. But just the fact that they put the Lazarus Pit on there got me excited.
I think I honestly have to say, as much as I'm not overly fond of Laurel, the fact that she's going to be training with Nyssa
yeah.
actually is super great for me.
Yeah.
Because, like,
if she would just get rid of that terrible wig. Oh my God, that terrible wig.
All the terrible wigs.
All the terrible wigs.
Like,
this is the terrible wig show.
This is the terrible wig show. It's like, who is going to have the worst wig this week?
Oh.
Like, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be Laurel.
Found that.
What? Anyway,
keep going.
I'm super glad that she's going to be training with Nyssa, because that's one of the core things about Black Canary, right? She trains with a lot of people, so she's trained with boxing with Wildcat.
Yeah.
And then, now she's going to go train with, like, a League of Assassin person, and,
and that's
who knows what else she's going to train with. And then maybe she'll train with Supergirl. Crossover. Oh my God, make it happen.
Don't think that's going to happen.
No, they've already talked about crossover with that.
But I don't think that level of crossover will happen. They'll be like, hey, did you hear about that woman who flies? That'll be the crossover.
No, I think they're talking, Berlanti is doing that too.
I know, but I think they still have to, like, pin down how much the networks will allow and that kind of stuff.
I think they would be foolish not to do appearances.
They would
foolish, very foolish.
I am very intrigued by the Atom spin-off show that's turning into, like, Justice League, but not really Justice League.
Yeah, it's like Justice League B-string.
Like, yeah. Like, how are they going to bring Sarah back? Because she is slated to be in the rumors.
I don't think she's going to be Sarah, though.
Are.
I think it's just the same actress. I don't think she's going to be Sarah.
But there's a twin, there's a clone.
No, I think they're just going to be like, whatever.
Yeah. No, they're not going to. They're going to have to explain it somehow. They're going to have to explain it somehow.
I don't know.
They'd be idiots to brush it off.
Lazarus Pit. There you go.
I personally think it would have been hilarious when Nyssa finds out that Sarah's dead and she gets so angry that they buried her. Like, I was waiting for her to be like, if you had just given me the body.
I have a Lazarus Pit, you assholes. I have one. I could have brought her back. This wouldn't have been a thing. There would be no blood dead. Jesus.
If they had just called her girlfriend,
Dude, bro.
Yeah. But I'm very intrigued to see how that plays out, because right now my understanding is it's still very fuzzy with the spin-off show.
Well, like, they've apparently they started filming, I think, a couple weeks ago, the pilot of Supergirl.
Yeah.
Which I'll say very briefly, I was excuse me. I was very worried about, like, the look they had for Supergirl.
Yeah.
Like, most of the stuff I had seen, the screenshots for or not the screenshots, but, like, headshots or whatever for the actress, just super young. Holy crap. Like, I saw a lot of her Glee stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so she looks like she's in high school, which, is not what they're writing.
Yeah.
I think they're writing her to be, like, in her early 20s, right? As I think a reporter or something like that, or a college student or something to that effect.
Something.
I kind of like that they've gone with, like, a darker color, so it sort of matches the Superman Man of Steel stuff. I kind of wish they had gone with more a closer look to the comics, the existing comics, or the newest version. I understand why you can't go with, like, the thongy thing.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with the skirt, but, like, I think they could have done a little bit more with the boots instead of just kind of straight boots. Well, no, I mean, not even armor, just kind of a little, like, in the comics, the knee bit is kind of cut out, and it's, like, stylized around her kneecap.
Yeah.
And it just looks really cool,
yeah.
and it looks like the boots kind of look like part of leggings, like boot leggings or something, as opposed to, like...
Beggings.
Leggings. I don't... Begging sounds bad, because, like, yeah. That sounds bad. Very bad.
Well, I was not overwhelmed by the release picture, but I also...
she looks super.
Yeah. I was also very, very underwhelmed by the first release of the Flash costume.
That's true.
So, like, I am now taking everything with a very heavy grain of salt. Because, like, I was like, that costume's awful. It's going to look terrible. The show's going to be terrible. And it is, like, the one thing that we watch the day after, because we have Hulu. But it's the one thing we watch, like, as soon as it's available to us. because that is our No Miss TV.
And that is how good the Arrow episode was this week that we're talking about Supergirl.
Yeah, that was
There was like two highlights, and that's kind of it. It kind of fell flat, like for me.
All the build up.
Yeah.
This very much felt like a filler episode.
And I
to
wonder if it's a context thing, right? Like, would we have been disappointed in this episode of the Arrow
if the Flash
wasn't on? The Flash is always better than the Arrow, right?
I think so.
The Flash is literally always better than Arrow.
Yeah. Because my thing with this episode is it fell into the bad habits of the first season where Thea was a brat. Which, I mean, reasonably so. She's dealing with a lot of stuff.
John Barrowman, you gotta love to hate him.
But she was a brat, and no one effing talked to each other, which was my, the thing that I love about the Flash is, he's like, yeah, I'm the Flash, yay.
Yeah.
Like, the first season, Ollie's like, I'm not gonna tell anyone, and it must be my secret that I will take to the grave. And, finally everyone knows and everyone's on board. And then, he doesn't want to tell anyone that Roz offered him,
Like, why?
And
what's the point? Because teen angst. Because CW.
Exactly.
Damn it.
And to me, that's
Stop CW-ing things.
Yeah. That's why that episode fell flat to me. Because I feel like
it was
as
just angsty
characters...
crap.
As a team, they've moved beyond that.
Past this.
They moved beyond that. I also didn't like some of the nice guy angstiness with Ollie seeing Felicity move on with her life.
Yeah,
because you know what, he does not have a right to put those emotions on Felicity. He was the one that said we can't be together. He's not allowed to throw a hissy fit if he sees her kissing someone else. Yeah, he can feel those feelings. He's not allowed to put them on Felicity.
You see what CW is doing, and CW's got us talking about this crap, and we don't even like it.
No, but those are the reasons why this episode fell flat to me. Is it felt very much like a filler episode. I know we got the big reveal about Roz is gonna screw up Ollie's life on purpose.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. We couldn't see that coming.
I didn't.
But
I'm really okay. Just fair warning. I'm notoriously naive about foreshadowing. Super bad at it. I don't ever see anything coming. Which, frankly, I'm just putting it out there.
You probably enjoy.
I enjoy things way more than Jessica does because she's like, "Yep, that's good. That's boring."
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in the ending now.
Yeah, I do. I do that a lot. Do that a whole lot. But I felt like not much happened plot wise.
Yeah.
Just the stuff with Laurel and her dad. I felt was, and
that's been way over dramatized that.
I have lost family members. I know it is traumatic. I've never had anyone murdered, which I know brings so many more layers upon dealing with a death.
I'm just putting it out there, to completely reverse your stance on something so completely unrelated to to the topic at hand, right? How does him not saying, "Hey, your daughter's dead," make Quentin
a bad guy? Yeah.
How does it make the things he does bad?
Yeah.
We're gonna have an anti-Arrow strike force again.
Yeah.
It's gonna be stupid. I understand where we're going here, and they're gonna try and drive it. I think is more of a Ra's al Ghul
is using this
thing
to,
and I don't even think it's going to be.
It's going to take advantage.
It's going to take advantage of it, and they're going to. I think they're hopefully. God, I hope so. They're going to let it feel more like a Ra's only thing versus a Detective Lance plus Ra's thing. But I think we also watched iZombie this week, right?
Which I find very ironic that CW is diving headfirst into the comic book.
Everything.
The comic book adaptations. I guess they figured
I didn't actually know iZombie was a comic book.
It is.
I've never even heard of it.
By Vertigo, so that's why.
Well, I instantly I saw a preview for it and I was like, that's Chew. just with brains.
Yeah.
Chew is a wonderful comic book.
Read Chew.
We love Chew. Read Chew. Read Chew, all of it. Read all of it. Frickens, Poyo for life. But like iZombie just kind of felt like a rehashing of that for me.
Yeah.
It's a little bit procedural. I understand that that's how pilots are. They're going to introduce characters and they're going to
follow tropes.
They're going to set up, certain tropes, and they're going to set up their plot and their overall stance on like, this is what you can expect from an episode. And that's fine. Personally, for me to be interested long term in a television show, it's got to be like Flash or Arrow, where there is, there are occasional filler episodes, but we are moving forward in some overarching storyline that takes up the entire season, right? Yeah. Like, that is my requirement for like every show I watch. I don't watch CSI in any variety. I don't watch the pseudo goth girl show that I don't remember the name of the show that she's on. Like, I don't. NCIS, I think. Isn't that what she is?
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like the pigtail happy goth girl.
Yeah.
She doesn't exist, people. That person doesn't exist. Goth people are not happy. They're just not. Emo. Wish I had emo grass so it would cut itself.
That is not
terrible. I know. I'm sorry.
You should
I apologize.
Feel bad about that.
I do. I feel bad about it. It's a little funny. Or it was way funnier when I was in high school anyway.
It was way funnier before you realized the implications of the joke.
Anyway.
And you grew up into an adult.
Anyway. Damn adulthood. Anyway.
I do have to say...
Happy goth people don't exist. But I did really like the comic vibe.
Yeah, I really liked the banter between, and I had to pull up the wiki because I don't remember these characters' names, but between Liv and Dr. Ravi.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna try to.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill it. So Dr. Ravi.
Yeah.
We'll just go with that.
Well, like
I really liked the, like
he's
you
just
said,
very
the
matter
comic
of fact
feel.
about it. Like,
he's like, oh yeah, you're a zombie. Here's some brains. Have some fun.
Because I want to study this.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed that because this and I have not read any of the comics, and this is very much a case of The Walking Dead. We watched the show first and then read the comics. If I enjoy this show, I will probably absolutely pick up the comics.
If the show has, if the comic has a comedic vibe, I'm sure I'll enjoy that because I really like funny comics more than I ever thought I would. Honestly, I've always been a very superhero comic guy, but I've really enjoyed like Chew and a number of other just humorous comics that we've read over the last couple of years.
But I think it has promise. Like you said, it's way too early to...
we'll definitely be watching at least the next probably 6 weeks or so. Like I said, I maybe wouldn't even expect... because it's going to be a short season, right? So,
it's a mid-season.
They'll max have 10 episodes... Maybe.
Right now on Wikipedia, it's just showing 4.
Okay. Well, okay.
So I don't know if
short
that's
season.
Just...
So this may be a filler, and maybe we don't get a next season. I don't know. I hope that they do, because it could fall very easily into that, murder of the week.
Yes.
Which brains are she going to have to eat to solve this one, and what stimulus will she pick up, Aramaic because she ate the brains of a mummy or something silly.
Yeah.
Just it can fall into very easily. Super episodic, not very good, good episodes. It could be, momentarily funny, but frankly, I watch Modern Family for momentarily funny, and even that kind of fails me most of the time.
That's dishwashing TV.
It's and I don't really watch a lot of dishwashing TV, right? And dishwashing TV is that TV that you watch when you do the dishes,
or straight in the living room or something. You want something
you're
else.
Literally doing anything but watching the actual television show, and you're just kind of listening to it and waiting for somebody to laugh really hard so you can rewind it 10 seconds and see what the hell they're laughing about.
Yeah, basically. But I think it definitely has, some promise, and you know,
I wouldn't say I'm excited about it. Yeah, but it was definitely good enough for a second watch.
I am starting to reach zombie saturation.
See, but I don't think this is even
but what I was going to say is like this is
right?
This is so different from the typical zombie that I'm cool with it.
I'm interested to see how what's his face? Gosh, his character's name was Adam in Heroes, and I can't remember the actor's name for the life of me.
And I closed the tab.
I'm interested to see how he dials in, like, because clearly she had a vision of him being like,
being
enraged and you know, zombie, and I'm sure he's a pretty decent actor. He's funny too. So I can't imagine them actually putting him on the sidelines.
Blaine
DeBeers.
Yes.
De Beers.
Like the diamond people.
De Beers. Is that how people? That's how people in Chicago order beers. Oh, De Beers. De Beers.
Apologies to any viewers we might have from Chicago.
Like, you don't remember De Beers?
I do.
De Beers. Anyway. Okay. So, last but not least, we're gonna talk about some games and gaming news, right?
Or Matt is, and I will jump in with funny quips because I don't care about any of these games.
Doesn't care. Nintendo is apparently going to be expanding to mobile. That seems pretty cool.
Do you mean mobile as in phone?
Yeah.
Mobile? Okay.
Like, so you can play maybe some Nintendo themed stuff on not a Nintendo, which I would be kind of okay with. At this point, like, that's the only thing that ever drives me to a Nintendo console at this point is, like, you know, Zelda or Mario.
Yeah.
And frankly, the draw just isn't strong enough. We don't own a Wii U. I don't think we will.
No.
Some of the stuff they're doing with VR and the little camera thing for PlayStation 4 are enough for our kids at the moment, and so I don't really see the point in buying a Wii U yet.
I think that's the problem that they've painted themselves into. The corner that they've painted themselves into is they feel like such a niche market now.
Well, they're their own market. Like, they don't really cater very well to third-party developers.
So I feel like the breakout into mobile gaming is... I mean, it's not going to be a game changer for them, I don't think, but I think it will be a good revenue source for them.
Right.
Because, like, you know, there are going to be people who don't want to shell out the money for DS.
Sure. Right.
But if they can play, you know, Zelda Light, you know, or something like that, you know.
And I just, like, I recently struggled with the purchase of the new DS, and I went with it, right? Like, but I was also, at the same time, I was also trading in for...
a Vita.
PS Vita for, like, $200 credit or something like that. It mostly paid for the DS, and I'm enjoying the DS much more than I was the Vita.
Yeah.
I was just not really into JRPGs that much, and I wanted something to play a Zelda something on, which, I mean, I'm really loving A Link Between Worlds so far. It's been really fun, and I'm playing my first Pokemon game, too, on it. And the 3D is actually pretty awesome. Also... hints at a new Nintendo console already.
Yeah.
So apparently, I guess the Wii U is not selling great. I mean, the Wii U has actually been pretty much king this past year. They've had the best selling. Yeah. There's not been a lot of. I think it's one of those things. I think they're doing pretty well because there's not been very much controversy around them.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
Everyone that's going to get a PlayStation 4 probably already has one, and you know, so it's a
little bit,
you know, we're going to spend our tax refund and get a Wii U, and you know, there's nothing else to really spend their money on.
So that's Nintendo news. Something else, and Jessica may actually be interested in this. I'm not really sure. We played Elder Scrolls Online. Mm-hmm. Remember, we played in the beta. It was garbage. It was super ultra mega garbage.
Awful.
Awful. I mean, the gameplay was fun enough, but like we tried to be in groups and like we were never in the same like phase or something. Yeah. I'd be standing next to her and see a little arrow above her head, and I still don't know what her character looks like. Probably a snake woman.
I remember. I think maybe.
Yeah. Anyway.
Humans are boring.
So anyway, the news with with that is that it's actually gone free to play. Well, not free to play, but buy to play. So you purchase the game, $60. And I think in June, I believe it's in June, is when they're actually going to be debuting on console. Okay. Finally, like 3 years later.
Yeah.
But Tamriel Unleashed or something like that, or Unlimited, I think is what they're calling it, for the re-release for the PC. And that came out, I believe, last week. So it requires no sub, but there are still sub options where you can
get cooler stuff.
No, it's not even cooler stuff. It's just like XP gains. Is what it sounds like. So you can get more XP and currency. Well, okay, I won't pass judgment because it may not. Okay, if the buy account is
normal
XP, then that's okay, right?
Yeah.
But if they've reduced the normal XP for a purchased account and normalized it for the paid account, then that's screwed.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the reasons I don't play Star Wars The Old Republic anymore. Because they even made it so you had to purchase, like, action bars. Like, I don't want to have to purchase the UI of my game, or the ability to wear the gear that I have earned. Like, you couldn't wear epic gear. Like, there are a number of things, like, just quality of life things that they're clearly just trying to screw you with.
Yeah, just nickel and diming you to death.
Charge me for content. Please charge me for content. Charge me for vanity equipment.
Items,
You know, just BS, because there's a ton of stuff you could do with that in Star Wars universe, right?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I don't know if there's a Tauntaun mount, but I tell you what, I'd pay $25 for that.
Yeah.
I would pay $25 for a Tauntaun mount.
Yeah.
In a second, like heartbeat, if that game wasn't so like it is right now.
Yeah.
I still say best free to play I've ever seen is DC Universe.
Yeah.
It's so good. You just pay for the content, and like that's it, man. It's such a good game. So fun.
It is. And the thing I like is it's a very, and this is me being the type of gamer I am, but it's very casual friendly. It's very, get on for, bite-sized chunks, right? Duos, you and a friend.
Just you and a friend, or your wife.
Yeah. Your friend?
No, you're not. I'm a friend. You're my wife. My wife. That's it. Don't try and go there.
Okay. We're not your best friends.
Yes.
Lame. Anyway. It really, like, I am glad that that the business model is moving away from sub games, because I'm very cheap and just I will never play a sub game. But
I've even let WoW lapse again.
Yeah, I know. But I don't think they've found the magic bullet option yet.
I don't know. I feel like subs are still okay. I feel like they're not at the right price point.
Yeah.
I feel like they're about $5-ish too much at the moment. Like the high end cost for a sub is like 15 and change, almost $16 a month.
Yeah. If it was 10.
I think if it was 10.
Yeah.
With like, the 6 month cost being like $8.
Yeah.
And the three month being like $9, right?
Yeah.
That's about right. That's how because they reduce it about $1-ish.
Yeah.
Each time you like gain how much time you purchase or whatever. Yeah. Or even if they would, like, if I had the option to spend $300
and just be able to play it forever
and be able to play WoW forever, I'd do it.
Yeah.
I would do that right now. I would take that money out of savings.
No,
and
you would.
Yes, I would, and I would take the money out without asking Jessica, apparently, and I would play, and I would have a WoW account forever. Like that's, I love the lore of that game, right? Like that's a game I'm very invested in. I will buy the next expansion. I don't even know what it is about. Don't care. I will buy it.
Yeah.
I will sub at least for 3 or 4 months and play the crap out of it.
Yeah.
And Jessica will hate me and Blizzard for 3 or 4 months. And our children will think they don't have a father. And that's fine. For 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. But I think, Blizzard will be able to do whatever the hell they want to do forever.
Yeah.
They just do not have a large enough competitor to change anything. So I think it's really up to these other games to figure out
what will
work for the average gamer. Which is very hard because there is no average
The thing
gamer.
is that the reason Blizzard keeps winning and they can keep charging is because they pick and choose the best innovations from all the other games that come out.
Yeah.
And they add it to their own game.
Yeah.
And then they add it in such a way that it makes a lot of sense. Like garrisons.
Yeah.
Are like it's effectively housing, right? Which we've been begging for 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? It's also the crafting stuff from Star Wars The Old Republic, just outright. It just is. You have followers, they can follow you around and help you in combat, and then you can send them on missions. Magic missions, where they come back from resources.
Which was awesome.
Woo! It's fabulous. It's like the best thing about Star Wars The Old Republic, and now it's the best thing about WoW.
Yeah.
A lot of people are really mad about it because it trivializes like that monetary flow for them.
Yeah.
But I love it because as a casual, it's way easier to do stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But we've gone down the MMO path far too far. I don't know. I've kind of given some thought to doing Elder Scrolls. I think because the concept, idea of multiplayer Skyrim is extremely appealing to me, which is what I want.
Yeah, I would have to watch several reviews first because the beta left such a bad taste in my, and I know it was beta, and I know it was beta, and you can't judge a game by the beta. And
no,
this,
like
that, and the
all,
other,
all our complaints from beta,
yeah,
made it to production. Like it, that whole grouping stuff made it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So anyway,
I would have to watch a lot of reviews.
So
we're
gonna end the show. Actually, we have 2 more segments left, 1.5 more segments left. Whatever. We're gonna talk about the releases for next week.
Okay.
And then Jessica is going to give us the best ever, most important thing, like parenting advice you can get this week.
In two parts.
In two parts? In two parts?
In 2 parts.
Okay. You thought of something good then. So releases next week are Bloodborne, which is basically just a Dark Souls-y kind of clone.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of interested in it. I've wanted to get into Dark Souls, but it's kind of intimidating for me to get into it at the moment because it's like there's a huge community around it, and I have the PC version of it. It's kind of laggy, but Bloodborne being a new IP, kind of like I like the art style of it too. It looks really cool.
Sorry, our dogs are being noisy.
Our dogs are itchy. They were sleeping this whole time, and now they've decided right at the end that they must itch. Yeah. They must scratch that itch. There is the Borderlands Handsome Collection coming out next week. It's basically an HD remake of Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
And pre-sequel, Borderlands pre-sequel.
Which I have to say, the pre-sequel, best commercials in
oh my gosh.
ever.
Okay. Well, okay.
Continue.
You put Mr. Torque in anything, and it's awesome.
Continue.
I kind of wonder at the fairness of that. You know, like, it's 2 old games for $60. I don't know. At the end of the day, though, like, I paid $60 for The Last of Us recently.
And that was one game. I think this is something that I don't think they're going to get a lot of like new players with this.
It's going to be people who want to play on their PS4 instead of their PS3.
Yeah. So it's not. I mean, I don't think it's definitely going to make some money for him. But you know,
I bet it's a cool collect. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the collector's edition, or if there is a collector's edition. But I bet. I bet it's badass looking.
Cool stuff. Yeah.
Like I bet if they sold a Handsome Jack like mask with it or something, it'd be cool. And that's kind of it. Like Infinite Crisis is coming out too next week. It's a MOBA. It's a free to play MOBA with a DC flavor on it, but it's pretty much stock standard MOBA. Yeah. So. All right, dear. It's the best ever parenting advice this week.
Okay. In 2 parts. First,
Part 1.
While your child is in infancy and learning to eat real people food, feed them corn at great peril to yourself.
Didn't see the result of that.
You did not see the result of
that.
How
bad was that?
It was pretty bad.
Our son is 1 year old. Or almost 1 year old, and he decided that he was going to eat like solid food recently, like
took it off the plate and ate it. without our intervention.
So I cut some corn off the cob. I assumed he would be really into it, and of course he was.
Yeah. Very much.
Apparently, much to the demise or the badness. It was super bad. Was it?
Pretty bad.
Was it like?
I'm not going to go into just.
Okay.
At your own peril. And this is another forewarned is forearmed at your own peril. When you have a preschooler screen any TV shows you might think of letting them watch before you let them watch them.
Specifically anything Martin Short has ever voiced ever.
So Matt is referencing Cat in the Hat, knows a lot about that. Which is the bane of his existence. He hates it. And I once made the mistake of letting Ginger... We're going to have to bleep that out. Letting our daughter watch an episode of a Japanese bus transport, like all the... It's kind of like...
accidentally let our kid watch hentai or something?
No, okay. It was on Hulu.
Well, I'm sure there's some weird stuff on Hulu. No. I don't know.
But it was kind of like the Japanese version of Thomas the Train, so it's all buses because they don't have steam engines. But it was awful, awful, just annoying voices. The moral of the story was not very good.
It had to be better than Super Y.
No, worse.
Wow.
And so because I let her watch this one episode 6 months ago. What does she ask for today when I turn on the TV? I want to watch the buses, Mommy.
I have never heard her ask for that. Not once. She knows what Daddy likes to watch. Yeah, I want to watch Superman or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She knows. I
told her no to buses, and she asked for Ninja Turtles, so we watched Ninja Turtles. And then she went around doing this all day.
That's right. Men, let your daughters watch Ninja Turtles.
So, forewarned, feed corn at your own peril and screen all TV shows. So
watch them before they do.
Yes.
All right, folks, that's been us. We are, this is the Final Family podcast. If Jessica deems it so, we shall have an episode next week. Probably also filmed on a Saturday night after we get our children in bed. It was a lot of fun. I think it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this. So I guess we will see you next week.
All right. See ya.
Be happy.